Welcome back to Mysteries Crime Stories, the channel where we dive into the darkest crimes, the strangest cases, and the mysteries that have haunted generations. The screen flickers and a smiling face looks back. It is warm, familiar, almost comforting, yet nothing about it is real. Somewhere far away, a stranger sits behind a laptop guiding every blink, every tilt of the head, every syllable spoken. The stranger has harvested thousands of photos and hours of voice recordings to create this perfect illusion. On the internet, the illusion moves and speaks as if it truly exists. It is a phantom wearing another person's life. When headlines first appeared about a mother who wired her savings after a frantic video call from her son, the world paused. The son had been asleep at home. The video was a fabrication. Trust, once anchored in what eyes could see and ears could hear, suddenly felt fragile. What began as novelty face swap jokes had become an industry of deception. A new kind of thief had emerged, one who no longer steals passwords but appropriates entire identities. Investigators began whispering a name that carried through cyber forensic circles: the deepfake identity thief. The crime is disturbingly simple. Every image uploaded, every voicemail left, every podcast interview becomes raw material. Neural networks devour these fragments, learning the subtle rhythms of speech, the curve of a smile, the fall of light on skin. With nothing more than a mid-range computer and a weekend of tutorials, a determined fraudster can synthesize a version of you convincing enough to fool family members on a video call. Unlike older scams that relied on crude phishing emails, this deception wears your face. Real cases punctuate the timeline. In Britain, an energy company lost 220,000 euros after a financial officer received a call from the CEO. The voice carried his exact Austrian inflection, his signature pauses. She followed instructions, believing she had secured a vital acquisition, only to learn later that the real CEO had been on a plane. Forensic analysis proved the voice was synthetic, cloned from earnings calls freely available online. Another story unfolds in Nevada, where Marisol, a widowed nurse, met a man on a dating app. Night after night, they shared video chats. He, a charming architect traveling abroad; she, a woman rediscovering companionship. Months later, he pleaded for urgent help after a business deal collapsed. She wired her savings. When she attempted to call again, the number vanished. Investigators traced the videos to unrelated travel vlogs scraped from the web, seamlessly lip-synced by an algorithm. Marisol was left with debt and an unshakable sense that reality itself had betrayed her. Victims describe a unique kind of wound. Jordan, a teacher in Ohio, discovered a fabricated confession video circulating online. Parents demanded answers. The school suspended him, and even after experts cleared his name, he spoke of lingering paranoia, of glancing at every camera as if it might one day frame him for another lie. Deepfake crime doesn't merely drain bank accounts. It erodes the instinct to believe one's own senses. Forensic specialists now wage a constant battle against this invisible adversary. They analyze pixels for micro-lighting anomalies, track lip synchronization errors measured in thousandths of a second, and map acoustic fingerprints absent in synthetic voices. Each breakthrough feels fleeting. Developers of generative models adapt, masking those telltale glitches, producing fakes sharper and smoother than before. New approaches like blockchain authentication and cryptographic watermarks promise some relief. Yet adoption lags while fraudsters thrive in encrypted channels and dark web markets where rent-a-face kits sell for a few $100s. Law enforcement agencies stitch together global trails of proxy servers and cryptocurrency wallets, but prosecution is hampered by outdated statutes. Few jurisdictions have specific deepfake fraud laws, and courts struggle to admit manipulated media as evidence. Social networks wrestle with moderation at scale. Every hour, thousands of new clips are uploaded faster than algorithms can review them. Responsibility is debated while victims are left adrift. Defending against such deception begins at the personal level. Skepticism becomes a shield. Confirm video calls through separate channels. Cross-check requests that demand urgency. Limit public exposure of long video and audio samples. Context matters. Does the speaker rush? Discourage verification, insist on secrecy. Watch for lips that drift from words, lighting that never changes, voices that lack breath. These clues are subtle but sometimes life-saving. Society faces its own reckoning. Legislators propose provenance tagging for authentic media, mandatory disclosure of synthetic content, and severe penalties for malicious use. International cooperation grows as agencies share forensic signatures across borders. The stakes are more than financial. Unchecked, this erosion of trust threatens the foundation of dialogue, journalism, even democracy. Beyond fear lies a strange paradox. The same technology capable of fraud also offers extraordinary promise. Film archivists restore lost voices, educators animate history, patients with degenerative diseases reclaim speech. Deepfakes, like any tool, are neither inherently moral nor immoral. Intent defines consequence. Yet intent is difficult to regulate when anonymity cloaks the perpetrator. Imagine a near future where every confession, every emergency plea, every tender video call requires forensic verification. A journalist silenced by a synthetic scandal. A family manipulated into rescuing a loved one who was never in danger. These are no longer hypotheticals, but emerging realities. The concept of truth splinters as perfectly forged illusions walk the same digital streets as our authentic selves. Awareness becomes the final bulwark. Digital literacy, the discipline to question, verify, and withhold instant belief, transforms from academic skill to survival trait. Trust must be earned repeatedly, even from the familiar. A camera may lie, a voice may deceive, a face may not belong to the soul we think it does. The deepfake identity thief may never be caught. It may not even be one person, but an evolving practice, shifting with every innovation. Yet its presence is felt in every cautious pause before answering a video call, in every double check of a frantic message from a friend. It reminds us that in an age of boundless creation, perception itself can be stolen. To live now is to navigate a permanent masquerade. Reality demands vigilance. The only true defense is the commitment to slow down, seek proof, and refuse the comfort of instant belief. In this new era, even the most familiar voice may whisper a lie, and the cost of blind trust may be everything we hold dear. So next time you find yourself walking the Appalachian Trail, and you feel eyes watching you from the darkness, remember, sometimes legends are born from truth. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this was Mysteries Crime Stories.